Hi there Capricorn, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot. This is going to be your weekly intuitive tarot reading for August 3rd through to the 9th. Cappy, let's get started with the beautiful Work Your Light deck to see what your overarching theme or message may be. And while I'm shuffling these guys, I just want to let you know of a tarot channel that I started following recently, fellow Australian reader. And we've connected and she's really lovely and her readings are really positive and nurturing and always delivered beautifully. So you might want to go and check her out. Her channel is Karmic Evolution Tarot Starseed. And we both believe in, lifting each other up. We're not in this for collecting subscribers and likes. We are in this to share positive messages that uplift humanity and go towards the raising of the vibration of the collective consciousness. So yeah, head over and check her out if you feel to do so. Okay Capricorn, what is this message for you? Take the top one. Oh, we have just had this. For Scorpio, the crumbling. It's very much the energy of the Tower, and Scorpio actually got the Tower and the Death card with this, so it's pretty intense energy. If you have Scorpio in your chart, you might want to go and check that out. So it asks you, what are you clinging on to? Is there anything that may need to come down? Is there anything that's built on a shaky foundation or a house of cards? Is there an illusion that you're buying into? In your relationship, are there fundamental values that down the track are going to cause a rift? Maybe address them now. It's anything that's kind of not aligned with your true purpose, especially in this time. The universe or whatever you believe in is really asking us to deeply question what is in alignment and what's not, and to live in alignment with our truth and our higher purpose. So let's go to the Yogic Path deck here, guys. See what other oracle messages we have. That one's poking out. Sita. So Sita is the goddess of devotion and loyalty, Capricorn. So it says that, you've really devoted yourself to a project or a person and your loyalty can't be questioned. And you've really kind of put all of your energy in that place. It's a really beautiful energy. So it talks about selfless devotion to a cause, to a purpose, to your person. So that's really beautiful. Let's get the rest of the story out. Let's see where this is going, Capricorn. So starting with the energy of the recent past. Wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups. Yeah, okay, well, we'll have to see where this goes. Got the crumbling, we've got the 9 of Cups. They're very contrasting energies. Let's get your current focus energy for the week, please, for Capricorn. The Chariot. Yeah, there could be a moving on to move forward that needs to happen. I'm going to clarify these, so that always gives us the extra layer of information. So let's get the near future outcome energy. 9 of Wands. Yeah, there might be something that's on the 3 of Swords. Yeah, okay, so here goes the rest of the story. The 9 of Wands for me is very much that almost but not quite. Almost but not quite release of a weight or a burden or something like that, because the 10 of Wands is really about carrying a heavy load. So let's get the clarifiers. Clarifying that 9 of Cups. And maybe, you don't want to push this over to the 10, which is completion, because it's going to hurt. Sometimes we kind of stay in it's uncomfortable, but it's better than ripping the band-aid off. I'll take the 5 of Wands that is face up. Yeah, feeling conflicted. Maybe conflicted about achieving that happiness. 2 of Cups. So for some of you, this includes a partnership energy. It doesn't have to be just in romantic love. It can be, you know, business partnership, creative partnership as well. Might be moving away or towards somebody. At the moment, I think it's away with the Three of Swords and Nine of Wands energy, the Moon. Yeah, there might be a final information that comes to light, truth that comes to light that kind of allows you to complete this situation. I've got the Six of Swords at the bottom of this deck, which is also a card of moving on with a heavy heart, you know, making that transition. But, you know, the reason why it's so hard here, Capricorn, is because you're all in this situation. You've given all of your loyalty, all of your devotion to the situation, and you've really invested heavily in it. So to move on from something like that can be extremely challenging. I am just going to clarify the Nine of Cups. Look what's at the bottom of that one, guys. Underneath there, Two of Cups again. Clarify the Nine of Cups. King of Wands, yeah. So some of you might be dealing with the King of Wands. Got the Star at the bottom of the deck here. Okay. So Capricorn, recent past. I think there's been a situation here where you're feeling kind of challenged about, you know, how am I going to achieve that wish fulfillment that I truly deserve in this situation when I'm feeling conflicted all the time. Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands can be the energy of pettiness. Whether you're dealing with a colleague, a close colleague, a friend, business partner, romantic partner, there's a sense here of conflict with the Five of Wands, but it's not generally like the really nasty conflict. It can just be the really niggling at each other or gossip in unconstructive ways. It can be people using power in ways that are, you know, trying to sort of get the upper hand as well with the Five of Wands. It's that kind of energy, and you're sort of being asked to disengage in that because it's just not going to lead you to that wish fulfillment that you desire, right? It's getting in the way of that. Now, you might be dealing with a King of Wands, which is the card of Leo. It could also be an Aries or Sagittarius. And if they're not of that sign, it could be somebody that might be trying to assert some kind of control or authority over you. You know, it could be somebody that's a little bit older than you, or somebody who just really likes to be in charge, right? The King of Wands is used to ruling an empire. So yeah, it's really feel that this person is kind of using maybe their power in unconstructive ways against you, and it's holding you back from achieving what you truly want to achieve. I mean, you want the Nine of Cups, and of course there's 10 of Cups to come after that. That's what you're hoping with. That's why you're loyal and devoted to the situation. And I think you've kind of been maybe in a little bit of a illusion that you're sitting in the Nine of Cups, but ultimately there's another issue at hand here, and that's the fact that maybe you're dealing with someone who's quite unreasonable. Definitely that combination for me is unreasonable energy, somebody who always has to turn something into an argument, or someone that's really triggered and reactive. We've all dealt with those people, right? You know, it doesn't matter what you say, it seems to trigger something in them, and all of a sudden they're emotionally charged, and it's not very nice to be on the receiving end of. So that's what I feel like you've been dealing with, and I really feel, Cappy, that you're kind of wanting to move on because you are desiring that 9 and 10 of Cups reality, right? So the Two of Cups here definitely means that, you know, yeah, maybe dealing with someone who's in close partnership with you, but the Two of Cups is also that beautiful soulmate energy. And you look at it, you know, the rainbow between the two cups, which kind of looks like the rainbow of blessings that we see in the 10 of Cups Rider version of this of the 10 of Cups. So I feel like you sort of have this feeling that in order to achieve that you might need to move on from the current situation, whether that's in business or whether that's in romance, to kind of get to those golden cups at the end of the rainbow. So the thing about the Chariot is that it is a card of moving on, but we can see here a sense of indecision with it as well. The stone chariot that the charioteer sits in is drawn by these two sphinxes, black and white, and they're facing kind of slightly different directions. So they stand for the polarity within us, the indecision, being in two minds. And it's when you make that clear decision, you know, that really unshakable decision on what you're going to do in this situation, that's when those sphinxes, you know, come into alignment and you propel forward at pace, and that's when you can achieve victory in the situation. The Chariot is a card, yeah, of, you know, success and achievement and all of that good stuff, but it says that maybe you need to leave a home in order to get there, and home can be something that we're comfortable in, a sense of comfort, which can be just in some kind of connection. We can get settled in a job and not want that change. Home can be anywhere that we feel comfortable because we don't want that change that might be coming in. That's what I'm trying to say. So the thing about that, Cappy, is that if I bring in the Six of Swords here, yeah, sometimes we need to make a necessary rite of passage, even if it's with a heavy heart. Sometimes that's just best for us. Like the Six of Swords is about making a transition in order to get to a calmer, more harmonious time in our life. Like you might be in a relationship or in a job with this person who's really unreasonable, and even though there's a certain amount of good stuff in there, unless that person really takes a deep journey of personal transformation, which you've got to be called to do that, they remain the same. So if you stay in the situation, you know, do what you always did, get what you always got, you know what you're in for. And if you do desire that, you know, harmony, the smoother sailing that comes with the Six of Swords, then sometimes we just have to move on. Two cards of moving on here. Two of Swords is underneath that, and Two of Crystals, indecision about which path to walk. But, you know, we need to use our intuition and our fact and logic when we're making these key decisions in our lives, and not make them from our own emotional triggers, right? Because when emotions get involved when making decisions, of course, you probably really care or even deeply love this person, and, you know, that can get in the way of making the right decision for you. So, Cappy, I mean, the Moon, the Nine of Wands, you're being asked to tip the 9 over to a 10 and bring some completion to this situation. And, you know, we see the King of Wands kind of holds that final piece to make this 10 wands instead of 9. And, you know, the warrior here has weathered the storm, has kind of gone through the battle, but he's still standing, there's still energy to complete this thing. The greener pastures are, you know, on the horizon. You can see that light at the end of the tunnel, but I feel like you need to release the situation. The Ten of Wands is about a situation that has weighed heavily and has been a bit of a burden. You might be dealing with somebody in the workplace that just gives you way too much responsibility, way too much workload as well. That could be what this is, but you're so committed with that Theta energy, you know, like you just don't want to let people down. So the Moon is about deeply tuning into your intuition and doing what's right for you. The Moon can also be about, you know, revealing of a secret or something from your own subconscious, or a final piece of this story that then, you know, allows you to go, okay, well, with that in mind, now I really do want to get out of the situation. Because it can be slight deception, it can be things going on in the shadows, or somebody who is kind of two-faced and shows you one side but really is the other, bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing. But either way, I feel like the Moon is asking you to do intuitively what you feel is right for you, no matter how painful it might be. Three of Swords. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to hurt, Capricorn. I'm not going to jazz this up for you. I mean, it does hurt. Change, it can be uncomfortable. There's levels to the Three of Swords. It doesn't always mean that it's going to be major heartbreak. It can be a bit of sadness, sorrow, or with a heavy heart. The thing is that when we kind of go through that first stage of like ripping the band-aid off, when we've made the decision to move on, that's the moment that the worst is over. You know, when that tower crumbles, that's the worst moment. And then we get to stand in the rubble and go, okay, well, now I can make a strategic decision to move forward, manifest and create, number 3, something else. So it's saying that the heartbreak, the hurt, the disappointment, you know, journeying that healing space is actually the first point on the new journey. There's always a positive side, guys, in all of these cards. That's the journey of life, right? Okay, Capricorn, I am going to leave it there, and I do wish you all the best with it this week. And keep in mind, it is a general reading for the collective. It won't be for everyone. It reaches those that it is meant for. Do feel free to leave me a comment. I read them all. I try to respond to them all. It helps me get to know you guys and connect with your energies. And I'll see you back here next week for another message.